Well, here we are,
Good afternoon.
you and me. Well, it's actually, yes, it is afternoon here, but in Mountain Time, it's still afternoon, and in
Early
Central
evening.
Time, it's it's between afternoon and evening, I
Yeah.
believe. And then in Eastern Time, oh, I'm getting confused, you know. When the numbers get to be this
Right.
big, I have to stop and really think about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's
Yeah.
dinner time on the East Coast?
I feel like I'm getting a journey around the globe.
Yeah, well, without leaving home.
Yeah. Taking me on a travel log.
Yeah. Actually, you know, I wondered when you were spending all that time in Italy, and then I think also in France, right?
Only a little bit in France, but
Well,
yeah.
yeah. So, and you were by yourself, right?
Yeah.
So what were you doing?
I was painting. I
Oh.
was drawing. I was writing. I was going to museums every day.
Who?
Museums.
Oh.
Yeah, because there's a new one you could see every day in Paris. It's so nice. And then in Italy, I was going to school. Oh, and writing. I have a lot of friends there too.
Well, that's that then. Now
Yeah.
I know everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not everything, but I know more than I did 2 minutes ago. Okay.
I have this one friend, and she has a magazine club, and it's full of zines. And so everybody goes to her house on Monday night, and they all watercolor and they write things, and then she makes a magazine out of it by Friday.
Wow.
Yeah.
A digital magazine.
Yeah. Well, like she prints what we do,
Yeah?
and yeah,
Oh.
copies. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. So, I don't know how many of you. Oh, that's Bunny. Bunny has sort of a. It's not even a whole bark. It's like a half bark.
Yeah.
It's. Whoa, whoa.
She's gotten a little yappier with age.
Yeah.
She's learning to use her voice.
Yeah, we all get that.
It's so true.
Oh, here she is.
Oh, she wanted to say hi.
Hello, Bunny. Oh, oh.
She gave Zeta the nicest greeting.
Wow, that was
She
great.
ran up to him and started assaulting his feet.
Yeah, she's the only one that gives me a greeting like that.
Yeah,
She threw a parade for you. She really did.
she did. There's something about the Hamels that she loves because she does the same thing for Daisy. She goes crazy for Daisy's smell, her hair.
Crazy for Daisy.
Crazy for Daisy. Zion
There's
too.
a log line.
Yeah.
So we have this called Suzanne Organics Shaving Gel. And you may think, why do I need a shaving gel? And I actually thought the same thing. What do I need a shaving gel for? I can just use regular soap. But there's something about the ingredients in the gel. I don't know what it is, but I put it on and I have a really wonderful shave. Now, right now, I don't have, this is a one-day beard I've got,
Okay.
okay? So I'm gonna eventually shave this off. I start over, like, every week I start over again.
Oh, you shave once a week?
Once a week.
That's
Wow.
as much hair as you have. Because
Pardon me?
you don't get super beardy. It doesn't get very long.
No, well, this is only a day. Okay? This is like Miami Vice style.
It is our free gift today, by the way.
Yeah.
I
This is
love
your-
the shaving gel.
This is your free gift right here, the shaving gel. I started using it after poo-pooing it and saying, what do I need shaving gel for? I'll just put, some of our hand soap or body wash or anything. This is the good stuff here.
Well,
When
and
you get
also
it as a free gift, all you have to do is spend $39.99, and this is worth $30. What a deal.
And it's much better than chemical-based shaving cream.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
a lot of people use shaving cream. I like it better too because shaving cream gets so foamy that it all gets caught in the razor and you don't get as close a shave. This one's slippery, so you get a really close shave.
And moisturizing.
Moisturizer, yeah, it has oat, aloe vera, green tea.
Wow.
Great ingredients.
mean, it's organic and toxic free, but
Organic,
we're not recommending you
toxic-free.
drink it.
Yeah. Sometimes I used to use it as a body wash because I thought it was. I was like, oh, they can't be that different. And my mom said, no, they are different. We have real cleansers in the body wash.
So what's happening with all this?
These are the Manuka honey products. So this one right here is the body lotion. This is my personal favorite. I mean, it's hard to choose one favorite out of all of the lotions we have, but this one's my favorite just because it's thick, but it doesn't pill. And I love the smell because it smells like honey. And I love Manuka honey. Antimicrobial, antibacterial,
And
antioxidant.
a dear, dear friend of mine, used to be a dear, dear friend of ours, but she's now a dear, dear friend of mine. And she's actually going through South America, riding horses all over the place. She's a great horsewoman.
Wow.
And she lives on a farm that's right on Lake Ontario. And she goes thundering through the beach every day on horseback. Great. Anyway,
amazing.
one of her horses actually scraped their hip. And we're not suggesting this, by the way, okay? I'm just telling you it's anecdotal. And she put Manuka honey on the horse's hip, and
That's crazy.
great healing, really great healing. So is it supposed to heal as well when you put it on your skin?
Well, we can't use the word healing when you're talking about skincare, but Manuka honey on its own is antimicrobial and antibacterial, and it is incredibly soothing, and that is why we put it into this whole line of products, because it has such incredible benefits
Is it
for
a
the skin.
superfood?
Yeah, I mean, it's so loaded with.
Also, when you think about bees and what bees do, sometimes I get lost on the internet vortex watching videos of bees and beekeepers, and the beekeepers start explaining how the bees are working. Like, they all have different jobs, and they just know their jobs. And I find it crazy. Like, they're architects. They build their own house. Like,
Yep.
it's crazy because you think, where does that material come from? But like, where did they build it? Like, they create it. So when you think about just the power of bees, I do think there's something really potent about what they can create. Also in a metaphysical kind of spiritual sense, they're very, important creatures.
You know, before you were born, I was a beekeeper.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know
I
that.
had 2 beehives.
Really?
Yeah, and this gentleman in the desert who was a beekeeper all his life, he was in his 80s, and I had a great interest in bees because I saw stuff on TV that I couldn't believe. Watching these bees, they have the perfect community. They all know their jobs.
Crazy.
And the queen bee lays 2,000 eggs a day. And they're little white eggs, and if they stand up straight, that's cool. Once they start going like that, they have to get rid of the queen bee, okay?
Wow.
And
Yeah, but you know, once the males impregnate, they kick them out of the hive.
Yeah.
They're dead weight.
kick-
They don't.
They
don't-
kick them out in the cold.
They
in the
kicked them
winter.
out. They were like, "Thank you. I got my children. You're done
They say
here. We're not going to feed you.
you're not helpful
You're not a
anymore."
worker. You have no benefit to us."
have
And
to
they
fend
kick
for
them out and they
themselves.
die.
Well, I'll tell you what's kind of cruel if you look at it subjectively, is that the queen bee really drives the entire hive. Because if it wasn't for her laying all those eggs every day, probably all the bees would, go sideways. So that's what she does. But when she is no longer capable, I guess when she goes into menopause, okay? Beamopause. She goes into beamopause, okay? And she can no longer create eggs. They gotta get rid of her.
Yeah.
So they order up. There's a guy in San Francisco that raises queen bees. And there are different kinds of queen bees as well. And you have to order your queen bee, and they ship it to you in a little crate like this big, okay? On one side of the crate is a wall of sugar. what do they call it? Not stone sugar. What is it?
Rock sugar?
Rock sugar. There's a wall of rock sugar, and on the other wall is like a screen so that air can go in and out. And they ship it in that. And the queen bee the new queen bee is accompanied by 2 worker bees.
Oh wow.
You know, okay, she's the queen. And it takes about a week, and they eat from the rock sugar wall. Is it getting complicated? From the rock sugar wall. And when it arrives, you do not remove the queen bee from the crate. What you do is you go into the hive, and it's easy to identify the queen bee because she's bigger than all the rest, and you have to take her out and, I'm sorry, it's the way it is. And then you put the entire little crate inside the hive. Why don't we just release the queen bee inside the hive? Because if we did that, she would be she would be an illegal immigrant.
You have to see if they take to her, right?
Right, they start smelling each other and they hear each other, etc. And then when the bees break through the rock sugar wall, they're cool with the new queen bee.
Oh.
And she starts laying eggs.
So in nature, how do they get a queen?
The bees create the queen.
Yeah.
Oh.
So when a queen dies or something, or when bees need a new queen, the worker bees, they alter the egg in some way to create the queen. So they choose the queen, and they also overthrow the queen.
Oh.
It's kind of metaphorical for life.
Yeah, exactly. So then there's collecting the honey. And I had my bee suit, so I had a shell
Wait,
of a
when
honey.
did you do this? This is crazy.
Oh, I was around during
Because
these
you told me
days.
that you were a diver too. Like I didn't
No.
realize you had all these different crazy hobbies.
No, just beekeeping and diving. Those are the
Oh,
two.
okay.
That's it. I have no other hobbies. The only other,
Knitting?
pardon? Oh, when I was a kid,
Really?
yeah, when I was a kid, I don't know what it's called. It's not knitting. Maybe it's
Crochet.
crochet.
Needlepoint.
Maybe you have like a little wooden handle, and all the wool goes through the handle, and you do that with it, and you create a circular carpet.
Oh, I'm trying to think of what it is. I'm not sure though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I discovered my male identity. I thought, what am I doing?
His masculinity was born.
None of my boyfriends were doing that. Okay, they were playing baseball, and I was doing this little knitting thing.
But you know what? You have a lot of energy, so that's a good thing to keep yourself active because it's a mind.
I do have a lot of energy. I like to have
Yeah.
things to do.
It's like you
Yeah.
doodle in order to think
Yeah,
straight.
you
So
doodle,
you are a
that's true.
multitasker.
Yeah.
Once for my birthday, Zeta gave me
It's called
like,
weaving or macrame, is what people
maybe
are
it's macrame.
suggesting. Macrame?
Maybe that's what it is.
Corking.
Pardon?
Corking?
Quirking?
Corking.
Oh, no, it sounds like quirking?
Yeah, corking. Finger loom. Oh, is it the finger loom?
Isn't quirking what
That's something else.
Robin Thicke and what was her name?
Oh no.
The singer.
Finger loom. How about that?
Finger loom?
Yeah, that
No,
sounds
that-
right.
That wasn't me. Finger loom.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love connecting the honey, and I didn't want to put the honey on the stove, but I wanted to separate the wax from the honey. So I made this, I took a box, a regular little container box, and it had a reflector of tinfoil, and I put it outside, and I put the honey and the wax inside in a big jumble, and it created just enough heat, just enough, it's not cooking it, it's not boiling it, just enough heat where it separated the heat, the honey from the wax, and the wax goes to the top. And then you can take the
Whoa.
wax off if you want. I happen to like eating the wax. As well.
Wow. Was it
Yeah.
latch hooking?
Pardon me?
Latch hook?
Latch cook?
Latch hook.
Isn't that a chicken, making a chick, isn't that a chicken recipe? Latch cook?
Horse rein, latch hook. Anyway,
I don't know.
Wait, that's crazy. So did you ever eat the honey straight off?
Of course.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
Of course.
I've always wanted to do that.
Oh yeah, it's like
That's so cool.
in Canada growing up. We had what is it called? Maple syrup.
Maple syrup, yeah.
Okay, in the wintertime, they have this thing called a sugar off, and they boil these big trays of maple syrup. They boil it down, and the fragrance permeates the
Oh my
entire
God.
forest. So in the wintertime, it's really cold. Your face is cold, but you smell this incredible smell. Anyway, getting back to the honey. Okay, getting back to the honey. I started
Bring
making
it back.
little jars
Uh-huh.
of honey for my friends.
That's so cute.
And, and I had the most major fan I had of my honey was Frank Sinatra's wife, Barbara.
Oh, wow.
Barbara loved my honey, and she was not embarrassed at all to say, send me more of your honey. So I
Aw.
kept her supplied with honey. And I think she just liked having a spoonful of it all the time. That's what I did.
That's so
it's
cute.
incredible.
I love doing that. Yeah. By the way,
Well, the Manuka honey, you guys, only comes from New Zealand. There is a special flower that grows in New Zealand. It is the Manuka flower, and the honey is harvested ethically, of course, from Manuka flowers only, because they have these very special benefits that, I mean, it's wonderful for you to eat it. It's incredibly good for your digestive system and to help balance your microbiome, but it is also has an incredible healing aspect. So Suzanne loved it so much, we created a whole line. So we have body butter, we have a facial mask, we have a hand cream. Do you want to put some hand
I
cream on
love the
Zeta?
hand cream.
And we have a beautiful lip gloss that goes on like a lip oil. It's beautiful.
There you go.
thank you. Well, I've started having, whoops, it's okay. I can go out like this tonight. Huh?
Did you guys notice Big Al has shoes on tonight?
Yeah,
We need a Tide stick.
going out today. Anyway, so I've got to tell you about, this hummingbird. Okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll tell you too, Bunny. How did Bunny get up there on the sofa?
Sometimes she jumps up there on her own.
But she won't go down steps.
No, she doesn't descend. She just
She ascends.
ascends.
She's an ascender. Bunny's an ascender. Okay? Anyway, so one day, and this happened a few days ago, I was sitting, I wasn't here, but I was in this general area, and all the doors were open, and a hummingbird flew in and made the rounds here in this seated area and around the bar, and then in the kitchen, and then went in. We have a little breakfast nook, and on the wall of the breakfast nook is a picture of Suzanne and myself, and the hummingbird hovered right in front of our two faces for the longest time, like, oh, I know these two people. And then flew to the top of the picture where she stayed for the longest time.
She sat there, right?
She sat there. I'm going to show you a picture.
So crazy.
Where is it? Okay.
That's a sign. We were seeing them today too. There was this beautiful hummingbird out there with a purple neck, like this beautiful fuchsia neck that really did remind me of Zanny, like a color she would wear.
Okay. See the hummingbird sitting on top of the picture? Now that's never happened. Ever. Ever.
It's incredible.
I mean, even for them to come inside, I feel like hummingbirds usually
Yeah.
stay outside.
Well, when I was preparing Thanksgiving dinner, it's the very first time I've made Thanksgiving here without Suzanne. And I was in the kitchen all by myself. No one was here or up yet. And I had these doors open and a hummingbird flew in smelled the peonies and the orchid at the bar and flew back.
That's so crazy.
And I felt like it was her saying that she was there.
But also, that was the day that the fireplace turned itself on.
Yeah.
And also, that's happened like several times.
That was the day after she died.
And the other thing, Suzanne was a big fan of this composer, conductor, arranger. I think he lives in Brazil or somewhere in South America. And his name is Pedro Bronfman. And she loves his music. And all of a sudden that turned up on our audio system, and it's not programmed. I mean, it shouldn't be there. How did it get there?
Out of nowhere.
So, signs.
I was lucky to be there that day.
I guess we all, take these things as signs. And, okay, yeah, you too. Well, now she can't jump off. She can jump up, but she's...
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so she's... Okay. Anyway.
Have you been getting any other types of signs, or even just like feelings, or maybe you hear voices?
Yeah, I don't hear voices, but well, unless I drink too much, then I hear a lot of voices. No, I'm just
But in
kidding.
your mind, like sometimes I feel like I hear her voice in my mind a little bit.
I can hear her reacting to things that I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
The way she would normally react. And also when I get into bed at night, that's when I really feel her presence. And sometimes I just lay in bed, I turn the lights out, and I lay in bed for, feels like hours. And I feel her presence, and I keep looking over to see if she's there. But I sure feel her. And
It's crazy.
I know,
It's
amazing.
real, yeah. Very real.
It's amazing. And what's good about that, from my perspective, is when you start seeing these signs, you start thinking of an afterlife. And, when you're a kid, you don't think about an afterlife because you're so far away from it.
I used to.
But when you approach the cocktail hour of your life, okay,
I think you mean the dessert of your life.
Yeah, we're
You're at the
talking.
after dinner drink.
We're talking
You're at the nightcap.
espresso,
Right.
limoncello, hour of your life.
oh, I love limoncello.
Well,
So I have to tell you something about your Zanny. So probably 45 years ago, we were in Rome. Is that where the steps are, the famous steps?
yeah, Spanish steps.
So we go to the steps, and there was a camera they just started making, and the film was circular, and there must have been 15 or 20 pictures in the circle. And we were sitting on the Roman steps, and it was a beautiful day. There were people watching, and we're drinking limoncello, and I started taking pictures of Zanny. And Zanny went from sitting perfectly on her head to hanging off the side of her head, okay, after the third or fourth limoncello. And
Third
somewhere,
or fourth.
right,
Yeah, that's
That's
when I
a
go down
lot.
easy. It's like candy.
so- somewhere are those pictures.
We'll find them somewhere.
Thousands of pictures.
A lot of you are asking, what is that annoying sound? See that fountain over there? It's that fountain, and we don't know how to turn it off.
Oh, yeah.
Because Alan paid extra to have a smart house.
What kind of hat was she wearing?
It was like a black,
You have a
Greek
hat
hat.
behind you,
One of
Violet.
those-
Like a fedora?
no, it was like a
Oh.
cap. You know those Greek caps? You see Greek,
Oh, yeah.
Like nude boy?
no, not a-
It's the similar style, but
Yeah.
it's kind of puffier top
Oh,
and then
a little more sailor
like a,
hat.
yeah, like a Greek fisherman kind
Fisherman,
of
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I love those types of hats. So when you and Zanny would travel together, did she bring like the big suitcases? Because Did she want to have all her fashion moments packed up and stuff?
Yes, yes, she did. And actually, we were invited by the government in China to go to the Shanghai Film Festival. And actually, we were invited because of our dear friends, Arnold and Ann Kopelson. They were invited. And I think they said, well, we can come as long as we can bring our friends Suzanne and Alan. So we all went to Shanghai, and I can't remember how many suitcases Suzanne had, but she made a big dent in her closet, I know that, and she was ready for anything. And, you know, it was interesting because people always tell these anecdotal stories about being entertained in China, and where they put food in front of you, and food that normally they would eat, because they've been eating this food for over 5,000 years. And we would look at it and go, I don't think so. So Suzanne said, so what are you going to do about all the food? And I said, I'm going to eat everything, okay? These people have been doing this for thousands of years, so it's not going to hurt me.
Yeah.
I said, how about you? And she said, well, we'll see. I'll see what you do first. So I was sitting next to, I can't remember his title, but he was a big shot in China, very nice man. He'd been educated in Colorado as well, so he spoke perfect English, and we got along. And the first thing they put in front of me was a little plate, and now, I'm not sure about this, but this is what I was told, that they were goat's eyeballs,
Oh,
okay? So Suzanne said, okay, big fella, let's see you in action here. So I popped one in my mouth, and I chewed it, and Suzanne said, so? I said, well, it doesn't have any taste, but it is crunchy. And she said, oh, I don't want to hear any more about that. Anyway, the Chinese food in China is quite different than the Chinese food that you get in the States.
yeah, the most adventurous thing we ate when we were there was sea slug, and our friends had provided that as a delicacy for us, and it was a big deal. And it was, I did try it, but I couldn't eat the whole thing. And I felt badly about it, but it was very slimy and just foreign to me. So I certainly tried it.
A lot of different types of textures too.
A lot of textures, yeah.
Cuisine, yeah.
I'll tell you, the most adventurous eater I know is Daisy.
Yeah, Daisy. I was gonna
Daisy
say.
will eat anything.
It's true.
And I think a lot of it has to do with her father, who's French, and I think he's also Sardinian, right?
Sicilian.
Sicilian.
Yeah.
I knew it ended in IAN. Yeah, Sicilian, okay? So that reminds me. So one night, Suzanne and I are in New York, and we used to go to this great Italian restaurant in Harlem, I think it was in Harlem, called Rayo's. And Rayo's was known as a restaurant for members of the, okay?
Oh, is that mafia?
Yeah. So,
I wasn't understanding for some reason. It's like Gen Z
didn't
over
you ever
here.
see The Godfather?
I did, and it was explained to me thoroughly by my father as I
Okay.
watched it.
I'm sure he's watched it 11 times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. So anyway, we walk into Rayo's, and Don Rickles is there that night. And this was shortly after Suzanne had announced on the Larry King show that she had breast cancer.
Oh.
So that would have been in the year 2000. And so as we just walked in and we wait for the guy to show us to our table, and Don Rickles stands up and says, Suzanne, what a great gimmick, cancer. No, he didn't say cancer, cancer. I wish I thought about that. Okay. And he did a Don Rickles, right? So we sit down and we start eating, and all of a sudden in comes these two guys you know those wise guys, right? Perfectly dressed in gray silk suits, perfect ties, double Windsor ties, big high collars. I mean, perfect. They look perfect. The hair is great. Handsome guys. And they walk in together. And Don Rickles got everybody in Rayos to hum. And
Ballsy.
That's
I said to
crazy.
Suzanne, they're going to get him. They're going to get Rickles when he leaves this restaurant.
Wow.
But the two guys couldn't help it, and they cracked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so the guys who owned it were mafia? Or
No, the guys who owned it.
there
No,
were two guys in the corner.
the guy who owned it was Frankie Pellegrino
Okay.
and his mother. And one night we were there, and there was a table of 8 right beside me, and it was John Gotti Jr. and his friends. And at 10 o'clock, Frankie Pellegrino, the owner, would turn on the jukebox. You know what a jukebox
Yeah,
is?
yeah.
Just check.
Yeah, that's
You,
good.
you know what a fax machine? No, I'm just
Yes,
checking.
you've asked me twice.
Well, I know, but just for checking to make sure that that was the
That I
correct
remember,
answer.
yeah.
exactly. So I'm sitting next to Gonjotti Jr.
What a name, yeah.
Yeah, John Gotti Jr. and with his friends. And as soon as the jukebox went on, they played the same thing every night. When the moon hits a UI like a big pizza pie, and all these guys at the next table who are out of their minds, singing at the top of their lungs. I mean, it was amazing. Okay,
I want you to sing it.
what?
I want you to sing it.
When the moon hits a UI like a big pizza pie, it's amore. I don't know the words.
Yeah. That was great.
By
That
the
was
way,
awesome.
you're the Italian at the table. You
Yeah.
should sing it.
Yeah.
That's right.
But Parliamo.
That's right. You are the
You
Italian.
can
Yeah.
sing it in Italian.
Yeah, I don't know that one. I actually don't know many Italian songs. I could use some recommendations.
What's that Italian song that goes?
Oh, yeah.
Hey!
Yeah,
I don't think that is that Italian.
Oh, well, I thought
Is
it
it?
was
I
Italian.
feel like it's from the movie Moonstruck or something, but maybe before then. Yeah, it's Italian. There are certain
Was that with Cher? Moonstruck?
yeah,
Yeah.
Moonstruck. There's this one they love in Italy. Lasciatemi cansare. Something like that. Let me sing
You
to
mean
you.
volare? You mean volare?
Oh. Lasciatemi cansare. I don't know how to say it.
Tarantella.
I went to
They're all
this
saying it's
weekend,
tarantella.
I went to a concert and it was a reggaeton concert, which is have you heard reggaeton music?
Who?
It's like reggaeton. It's like Latin music, dance hall. So it's Latin music but with a beat to it.
I love Latin music.
Yeah, but it's like super modern. Some of them rap over it, but it's really fun to dance to. And so there were a bunch of different really big artists in Latin America, and it was really cool
Wow.
listening to them. But I don't know any of the words because I don't speak Spanish. So now I'm trying to learn some of the words.
Are you going to learn Spanish?
Well, I really want to be able to sing along.
Oh.
I was asked to put this on,
Oh.
Okay. Wow.
Sammy's hat.
Boom, boom, boom. That's the way she would have worn it.
Yeah,
too.
she wears it like this.
Yeah, a little tippy.
The yellow was really the
yellow
most
was-
signature.
But she loved
Oh, yeah.
bright colors. That's why that hummingbird I saw today really reminded me of her because it had a fuchsia neck.
Oh.
I remember one day I walked out in our former home. I walked out to the back 40. It was summertime. And I was just out there walking
Funny
around.
quiet.
And all of a sudden, there were 3 hummingbirds that were circling my head.
Wow.
And at first, I thought, oh God, I don't want to get a hummingbird's beak in my eyeball.
Ah.
And they had no intention of doing that. And I wondered why they were circling my head. And the answer was because I was wearing a baseball cap from the University of Hawaii that was yellow, I guess yellow and green are the 2 colors.
Oh, really?
From the, I guess, from the University of, and they were obviously, they thought, wow, look at this big flower. I want a little bit, but they couldn't find a place to put their beak. And that's why, so I put my glasses on just to make sure if they decided to look with their beak right here in my eyeball.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
but nothing happened. Everything was fine. And that's why I'm here today. Okay?
Hey, you guys, if you joined us late, we do have a free gift today. We're just telling stories with Alan, but we have a free gift for you. It is the Suzanne Organics Shave Gel. It is in that wild orange vanilla scent. It retails for $29.99, and you get it as a free gift if you buy anything at SuzanneSummers.com for $39.99 or more. You do not need a promo code. That's it.
Wow.
And it's really moisturizing, and it
Have
gives
your-
you like
this is your favorite.
a really nice slip. It's great for armpits or bikini line
I use it all the
or
time.
yeah,
Legs.
Oh, yeah.
face or
Yeah, I use it on my bikini line all the time. Yeah.
What can you say after that? You love this one too, right? Activated charcoal mask.
Actually, the charcoal mask and also the other charcoal,
The
what is
scrub?
this?
The scrub is
The
great.
scrub, okay? I
Wait,
have
but I
to,
thought that was the scrub.
no, they switched the
They switched
containers.
the
Yeah.
container. The scrub is so cool
Where's the
because it
scrub?
has the volcanic, like actual lava pumice in it.
yeah,
That's straight from the earth. That's crazy. To
Yeah,
me.
and it's really this is our most intense scrub. So if you want a really good exfoliation and your skin is not sensitive, this has the most exfoliation. So obviously good for men, but you know, Suzanne had really thick skin. I have thick skin.
Zeta has thick
Yeah.
skin.
So
I
we
do too.
love this, and it's a beautiful. I mean, look at the color of this.
well, I used it
It's so
today
pretty.
when I took my shower.
Oh, you did?
Really? I was noticing your pores look very clean.
Look how
Well, thank
beautiful
you.
this
Yeah,
is.
they do.
Look
Clean
at that color.
pores.
Clean pores. And it has the charcoal in it too, which draws out the impurities and the minerals.
By the way, I have to give credit to a dear friend of mine for having this line of charcoal, volcanic, okay? Because he suggested that we might do a line for men. And out of that suggestion came this, okay? And as it turned out, men didn't care. And so we've incorporated it into our
Bless you,
line,
honey.
and it's wonderful. And I'm sure that a lot of guys are using their wives' charcoal scrub.
It's very unisex, the scent too.
Yeah.
Lemony.
Meta just said, thank you for restocking Dopa Renew. It helped me quit sugar and alcohol.
Wow.
Oh
It's
yeah,
great. It helps support neurotransmitter production. So if you don't have neurotransmitters and you're reaching for things to help stimulate because you're not getting that fix naturally, the Dopa Renew is helpful to help restore those neurotransmitters. So happy that was a good tool for you.
I
Meta.
should use that. I don't use that. I don't take it.
I like Dopa Renew.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, it sort of takes away, it does take away the sugar craving, and probably other cravings as well, wouldn't
And
it?
it steadies
Because-
you.
Pardon me?
Does it like steady your mood and stuff?
I don't know about, you know, every so often I like to stop eating for a day or two.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know you do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's just like at night you just kind of, you know, clean out a lot of gut renew.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I'm doing that, when I say I don't eat for a day or two, I do eat gut renew.
I love that.
So you just go on smoothies and
Yeah.
that's a great
Yeah.
great
It's so
cleanse
great.
because you're getting your body's still getting really good nutrition.
And it feels great, and I'm not hungry because I'm popping the Dopa Renew at the same time.
I gave my friend a bag of Gut Renew, and she drinks it every day. And then she said she doesn't really know how to use different recipes because she doesn't have the program guide. So she said when she gets tired of it, she stops for a little bit. And I said, okay, well, you just need the program guide. Anyway, she said, but when I need to go, I use it and I go immediately.
That's great.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, it really
It's
helps
crazy.
you become.
And now she's
helps
telling all of her
become
friends
more
about
regular.
it. Like she's obsessed now.
Well, I have to leave you people.
All right. Well, our show is done.
Sign off.
Okay, it's 4:43, and I'm being picked up in less than 5 minutes
Oh, that's
by my
terrific.
dear friends Candace and Greg.
Well, it was really
Well,
nice to see you for a hot
Thank
minute.
you for
Alan.
coming.
Yeah, thank you.
He's the busiest guy in the desert.
Thanks for coming
Yeah.
to your house.
Yeah.
I was talking to them. Thanks for coming to the live.
This one's great. Okay.
We are going to do a cooking show on Friday, so don't miss us on Friday. We'll have Camellia.
I've known she was great since the day she was born.
Yeah, that's
Thank
true.
you.
Okay, I have.
We'll have your other two granddaughters with
Zanny
me on
did the
Friday.
first.
We're going to do a cooking show.
Okay.
So don't miss that.
Zanny said you only wanted your mom.
Okay.
You never wanted me. Okay. Bye.
We'll see you
Bye.
guys Friday. Thanks
Bye-bye.
again.